this is RLB Dismas, and I will be discussing the topic which is all about skewness. What is skewness? Skewness is a measure of the symmetry of a distribution. The highest point of a distribution is its mode. Okay, so let's proceed to the skewness and its types. The three most important shapes are first, positively skewed. Positively skewed distribution is a type of distribution in which most values are clustered around the left tail of the distribution while the right tail of the distribution is long. For example, second is the symmetric distribution. Symmetric distribution is a type of distribution where the left side of the distribution mirrors the right side. For example, and the last is the negatively skewed. Negatively skewed distribution is a type of distribution in which more values are concentrated on the right side of the distribution graph. For example, okay, let's proceed to the coefficient of skewness. Coefficient of skewness measures the skewness of the distribution. And this is the formula. Okay, that's all. And I hope you understand about my discussion. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Shella and I'm going to discuss about kurtosis. Kurtosis is derived from a transliteration of a Greek word kurtos. This Greek word has a meaning arc or bulging, making it an apt description of the concept known as kurtosis. Kurtosis is a measure of the combined weight of a distribution's tails relative to the center of the distribution. When a set of approximately normal data is graphed via a histogram, it shows a bell peak and most data within positive or negative 3 standard deviations of the mean. And another is, kurtosis is a statistical measure used to describe the degree to which scores cluster in the tails or the peak of a frequency distribution. The peak is the tallest part of the distribution and the tails are the ends of the distribution. And there are 3 types of kurtosis: the mesokurtic, elliptokurtic, and platykurtic. Mesokurtic distributions that are moderate in breadth and curves with a medium peak height. And elliptokurtic, more values in the distribution tails and more values close to the mean. And platykurtic, fewer values in the tails and fewer values close to the mean, or the curve has a flat peak and has more dispersed scores with lighter tails.
Hello, I am Leanda Mugo from Group 5 and I will going to discuss the 3 interpretations of probability. Let us have classical probability first. Classical probability is a simple form of probability that has equal odds of something happening. Example for this are rolling a pair of die, selecting bingo balls, and guessing on a test. The formula of classical probability is P times A equals F over N. P times A means probability of event A. Event A is whatever event you are looking for, or like winning the lottery. F is the frequency and N is the number of times the event could happen. You can only use the classical probability formula when all events are equally likely. Let's move to empirical probability. Empirical probability, also known as experimental probability, refers to a probability that is based on historical data. In other words, empirical probability illustrates the likelihood of an event occurring based on historical data. To get the empirical probability, we have the formula empirical probability is equals to number of times occurred over total number of times experiment performed, where number of times occurred refers to the number of times a favorable event occurred. Total number of times experiment performed refers to the total amount of times the event was performed. There are advantages and disadvantages of empirical probability. The main advantage of using empirical probability is that the probability is backed by experimental studies and data. It is free from assumed data or hypotheses. However, there are two big advantages of empirical probability to consider. One is drawing incorrect conclusions and insufficient sample size. The last type of probability is subjective probability. Subjective probability is a type of probability derived from an individual's personal judgment or own experience about whether a specific outcome is likely to occur. It contains no formal calculations and only reflects the subject's opinions and past experience. I hope I explained well the three interpretations of probability. Thank you.